Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Now this is our $150 budget PC. It's made up of used components and features the Intel Q6600, a CPU that has become synonymous with used computer markets and auction sites like eBay, meaning that no matter where you live you'll likely be able to find it at the heart of a system like this for a great price. The other components include 4GB of DDR3, a 250GB hard drive with Windows 7, and because we only paid £50 for it, about $60, we were able to splash out a bit more on a graphics card and bought the standard GTX 1050 for £115, available for $117 in the US. In total, this cost £165, about $177 if you convert the cost of the base unit and add the price of the GPU separately. This is a budget build that would be attainable by many, no matter where you live. If you wanted to build a new system for under $200, then in all honesty it wouldn't be capable of much, so buying used is the better option here. Here on the other hand we have a more expensive $500 build, and in all likelihood if you were spending this much on a system it would be made up of new parts, so that's what we've done here. This is my case though, and you've seen it before, but we've accounted for the original cost. This PC features an Intel Core i3-6100 CPU with an RX 470 graphics card and 8GB of DDR4 memory for a total spend of £496. The same can be built in the US for $506. So how much performance difference should you actually expect between a used budget build and a more expensive and new system? Now the point of this video isn't to demonstrate the extra performance of a more expensive system, but to advocate for the budget build and show you how well, hopefully, it can keep up. After a few calculations, on paper our $500 system's CPU is about 50% better, whereas the GPU is about 35% faster. So let's get into some games. First up, it's GTA 5. On the left we have our budget PC, and on the right our more expensive PC. As you can see, our budget build is hitting around 58 frames per second on average here with these settings, and our $500 system is pulling slightly ahead with 67 frames. Right off the bat I'm actually very impressed, as not only are both results more than playable, but the difference feels quite subtle when playing the game. Despite the Q6600's bottleneck in the cheaper PC, it's nice to see it performing so well. Next up we've got Rise of the Tomb Raider with the medium quality preset and pure hair off on both systems, as that's an unnecessarily demanding feature. Our Q6600 1050 PC is averaging 47 frames per second, whilst our half-grand build is seeing 76. Quite a bigger margin here than with GTA, and whilst the difference is noticeable, the cheaper system is holding its own no problem. I wouldn't really want to try and turn the settings up any more than this with these specs though, and the 470 build has more to give no doubt, but I could and would happily play on the cheaper build if it meant saving $300 or pounds, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree. Moving on to The Witcher 3, and on the left side of your screen you'll see an average of 44 FPS and 74 on the right hand side. Again, quite the difference even on medium settings, and you'll have to decide for yourself if you think the extra $100 per 10 frames is worth it. I'm still impressed though, considering the Q6600 is about 10 years old now, and you'll still have a great gaming experience. Finally, we tested out Dirt Rally, a game that seems to be fantastically optimised and even runs on very low spec systems, as I believe we've tested in our other videos. Here on our sub $200 desktop and ultra settings, the game sat around 65 FPS with next to no frame drops throughout, despite my awful driving and tendency to shoot through the forest foliage. Our 470 PC sat at just 10 frames more, similar to how GTA 5 compared on both systems, and again suffered from no drops or lag. It's not just the cost that determines how these systems perform, but the games themselves too. Yes, the more expensive PC will perform better with whatever game you throw at it, but I think that considering how widely available older systems that feature components like this are, and how cheap you can find them, it's definitely worth it if you're on a budget. If you're having a good time, don't think about how much difference it would make if you spent a little bit more money, because no matter how much you spend, there will always be a PC that's better than yours. I prefer to look at it like this. You can easily obtain a whole budget system for the cost of a pricier GPU and still be able to play your favourite games no trouble. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this little sort of comparison video between a slightly lower end budget system and a mid-range or higher end $500 gaming PC. If you did, hit that like button below, leave your builds down below because I like to see what you guys have as well. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.